Hey yo, it's Hip Hop DJ Eternal 88. What's going on, y'all? So we got Gene Deal calling out Mase because Mase and Cameron recently were on their podcast. It is what it is, and they were speaking on. Mase was basically saying, if y'all let that happen to Big that night, the security, Bad Boy Security, if y'all let that happen to Big, I don't stand a chance. But the way they said it, they were kind of like saying the security let it happen, and people were behind the car crying after Big got killed, saying they just wanted to go home. And they were like really laughing about it. I'm just going to play that part real quick, and then we're going to get into Gene Dill's response. Because Gene Dill really feels a certain way about this, and I don't blame him. Let's get it.
Everybody that he came with there to LA had left out. He was the only one there. So you got Biggie passed away, security not busting their hammer, Puff get on a private jet, everybody going, and Mase figured his way to get out of here. So we was talking about, he said, Cam, that's why you just see me run around with nobody sometimes. Ain't nobody do shit. I'm better off by myself. It's funny, but not funny.
Yeah, when they go, cow, cow.
Yeah.
You know, you by yourself. Everybody trying to make it home.
Yeah.
Especially niggas crying behind cars. I just want to go home. I just want to be home.
Right. But that's part of me saying that you're the chosen one. Yes. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah, what do you do if you're security crying behind the car? Damn. I just want my blanket. I just want your blanket. Nigga, we gotta get out of here. I didn't sing too much. Niggas can't tell me nothing. That's why when niggas be talking tough, I said, man, just say it. I didn't sing all that.
The part that they left out, they said that Puff got on a private jet after Biggie had passed away and he was gone. The part that they left out is Gene Dill was in the car with Puff that was ahead of the car with Biggie in it. And Gene Dill, after that happened, he left with Puff because he was Puff's security. And he left with him and went back to New York or whatever. And Mase was still in LA, I guess. But the whole thing is Mase wasn't even there the night Biggie got killed. He wasn't like in any of the cars or anything. He was up in a hotel chilling. And Gene Dill's kind of pissed because he's like, damn, y'all laughing about this and shit. And the way they said, like, the security was crying behind the car saying they wanted to go home. A lot of people are going to wonder, are they talking about Gene Deal? Because Gene Deal is the most talked about bad boy security from back then, right? And the thing is, I think Mase and Cam are kind of smart for this overall. Because I feel like they left out the fact that it wasn't Gene Deal crying behind a car saying he wanted to go home, because they knew that Gene Deal would then in turn go on Art of Dialogue like he always does and speak on them talking about it, which would bring more publicity to them, and it's like free promotion basically. Honestly, Cam and Mase are smart to that point. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think it's distasteful for them to be laughing like this about the night that Biggie got killed. It kind of shows you Mase not telling Big. Mase told Puff and Gene Deal that West Coast dudes wanted to kill Big that night, but he never told Big. And it kind of makes it seem like Mase wanted his spot, and that's the reason he never told Big. You know what I'm trying to say? But Gene Deal says he told him himself, but he wonders why Mase didn't tell him. But this is Gene Deal's response here, y'all. Let's get it.
Prior to the Peterson Museum, Mase and Stevie J went to a celebrity basketball game. They let the dudes, I don't know if it was the dudes from the Dog Pound, it was the dudes that was Crips. They let Stevie J and Mase know, we want Puff and we want Big. Mase felt like he was safe, laying down there, throwing up West Coast signs with them. Mase came back from that game. He let me know, and he let Puff know that he was good. They wanted Puff and Big dead. He told me, he told Puff. He never mentioned a damn thing to Big. As his label mate, he had an obligation. As a fellow New Yorker, he had an obligation to tell Big. And I don't want to hear about no, I don't want to snitch, I don't want to rat, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. He had an obligation to tell Big, man, these dudes out here want you dead. They told me. Why didn't he? He's sitting around laughing, talking about security. Speaking on something that he was never there. He didn't attend.
Do y'all think that Mase had an obligation to tell Big? I sort of do. And if he was his friend, he should have told him. Even though Mase probably did assume that if he told Gene Deal and Puff that they would tell Big, which Gene Deal did tell Big. But I've heard over the years from interviews and stuff like that, that Big and Lil C's just laughed it off and were like, fuck out of here, you know what I mean? But overall, I will say, I think that Mase and Cam are 100% wrong for sitting up there laughing at the fact that people were behind a car crying when Biggie got shot. What did you want them to do? You know what I mean? I understand if it's security being behind a car crying, then it'd be like a little weird or whatever, you know what I mean? But I think it was D-Rock and Mase and a security guard and a driver. Or maybe it wasn't D-Rock. I'm really not sure, but not Mase. I'm tripping. It was Big, Lil C's, and fucking like a D Money or some shit like that. Not D-Rock, like G Money or something was his driver. That's for sure who it was. And I think a security guard or whatever the fuck he is, you know what I mean? But it wasn't Mase or D-Rock. It was Lil C's, D Money or some shit, and Big, and then a security guard. So I'm not sure who was behind the car crying or whatever that they're making fun of, but I do know that Lil C said in a Vlad TV interview that he and like they were all behind the car crying. You know what I'm saying? So what do you expect them to do? Like the people already pulled off. It's just wild to me how I heard Lil C said this too. He said Puff's car with Gene Deal in it was ahead of Big and them, and they pulled off and ran the red light, and then Big and them stopped at the red light, and then Lil C's was hollering at some girls, and then next thing you know, somebody came up and started shooting, and that's what happened. It's so weird to me that that's the same thing that happened to Pac, yo, in the West Coast, same thing. Pac pulled up to a red light, started talking to some girls. Next thing you know, a car creeped up and started shooting. Same exact thing. It's just bugged out to me. Like, that Big and Pac, the greatest rappers of all time, and people who kind of like were known for this West Coast, East Coast rivalry thing, they both got killed the exact same way. Like, the exact same way. Almost like it's just, to me, it's almost just like crazy. Like whoever hired the people to kill them, if somebody did hire the people to kill them, it was the same person, if you ask me. It was the same person that hired the people to kill Big, that hired the people to kill Pac, because it went down the exact same way, man. There's no way something like that is that. Like, how does that happen? You know what I'm trying to say? But I do think it's distasteful that Cam and Mase are up there laughing about that, and salute the Gene Deal for putting out the facts and shit like that. And make sure y'all leave comments. Let me know how y'all feel about all this. Follow me on IG. Hit that like and subscribe. And we out.